although we are more than 2 years out from the last Sword and Shield release, there are a lot of awesome alt art cards that don't get as much love as they deserve. In this video, I'll be going over some of my picks for the most underrated alt arts from the Sword and Shield era to hopefully help you all collect these awesome cards. Hey, my name's Collections, I'm Sean and I collect things, and this is my channel where I talk about the Pokemon card hobby, give advice, and sometimes open packs. If content that helps you collect is what you really enjoy, I hope you stick around, and if this is the first video you are seeing from me, thank you so much for clicking on the video, it really means a lot, and if you are a returning viewer, I hope you continue to come back. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at these alt art cards. So, I do have a couple pulled up. These are a little more expensive than the other lists I've made so far, those being like the under $10, just because alternate art cards, for the most part, are on the more pricey side, going from like $20 up. I think this is the priciest one that I put on the list, but I think it's one that I really want to call out, just because Empoleon V from Battle Styles is honestly one of the cards that not only got me back into collecting, but kept me in like the whole hobby, because like I mentioned in one of my older videos about the gold cards, where I talked about the gold Berserker being like the first big hit that I really got, making me want to continue chasing and pulling cards. This card, seeing it being like teased and everything, it really showed me that the new modern era of Pokemon is really trying to push for these beautiful arts. It's just I don't know, it's just really cool looking. Empoleon just doing kung fu martial arts, a bunch of failings, you see all 5 or 6 of them, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then Mienfu. It's really cool. The background looks super realistic. It's just a really nice looking art piece, and I think that Battle Styles, as you can see, this card's going like for $50, lowest sale price. Battle Styles, it has a not as nice a reputation, I think, compared to some of the other Sword and Shield sets, but if we take a look at just these singles, I'm not going to spend too much time on this just because I'll do another video where I go over this set later. But if we take a look at cards, right, there are some really hype alternate arts, which I think are deservedly so, like this Tyranitar, but I don't want to call this one out because I think it's a bit too expensive for my taste. I picked it up when it was back at $100, and that already felt pretty bad. It is a really beautiful art, but I think if I have to choose between these two, they evoke different feelings, and I think I am a bigger fan of this Empoleon. But yeah, I mean, that's also part of the Gen 4 kid within me, Gen 4 being the first generation I played. It has a special space in my heart, even though Torterra is my favorite. This Empoleon is super duper sick. Take a look if you want this. Price is doing it's like growing quite a bit, but not to a really drastic measure, I think. It's having some healthy growth. I think this card's like on the older side, Battle Styles being a now like no longer standard legal. There's still a good amount of Battle Styles out there, but I don't think they're going to really print more. It might be something you want to keep your eyes on. Just some advice from me personally. I did recently pick up an extra copy just because I really like this art. I might try to grade one to see if I can get a 10. But yeah, that's my opinion. This art's super beautiful, so check it out if you like it. The next one I want to talk about is Golurk V. So this is a card from Evolving Skies, and I think because Evolving Skies has all the EVs, a lot of the other alternate arts kind of got pushed to the wayside. They didn't get as much love. And that means that these are a lot cheaper than the other alternate arts from this set. And this is one that I actually ended up pulling over COVID when the set first released, which is super cool. So Golurk V, you can see just lugging some lumber. There's a Nickit, some Swablues, and it's just a really nice looking image. It's Kato art. Kato art is pretty peak, to be honest. He's got some really good stuff. Yep, Origin Form Palkia. Wasn't on my list, but it's definitely a really nice alternate art. But yeah, I really like Kato's art, so... Oh, let's see what TCG Player has to say about it. Yes, storybook quality that helps the automaton Pokemon fit in with the natural setting. That's pretty perfect. Yeah, and it really evokes the feeling of the, Castle in the Sky, because I think Golurk itself is a pretty, like... It draws a lot of inspiration, I think, from Castle in the Sky, the way it's designed and everything, and I think Kato's art style really just elevates that feeling and makes it feel very whimsical, in a sense. But yeah, Golurk V, you can see listings are like $20. $17.50, sorry for my math, $18. It's not bad at all. Pretty nice card. It's going up, but not to the point where it's like kind of worrying. We've seen a lot of this is like some worrying movement here, but that's like a while ago. But now it looks like healthy growth. The cards are unhealthy, I think. We're the ones like spiking 100% over 1 week. That's crazy, but something like this, I think it's just people going back and collecting these awesome arts. And yeah, I think this one is a really good piece of art. I think Kato always just makes bangers. So if you want it, take a look. This is a good card. The next one, Sandaconda V. I don't think it's like the most hyped alternate art, but I don't think it deserves the hate it gets. I know Sandaconda might not be everyone's like favorite Pokemon, but it's pretty cute. It's just chilling. It kind of looks like a radiator, and I think that's what makes it really funny, sitting next to like an actual radiator. It's a very like slice of life looking card, and I think that's part of what the alt arts give, what the illustration rares give, and special illustration rares. And I think it really just captures like a very small slice of life image. Like even TCG Player kind of agrees with that sentiment. But this one was crazy. It used to be like $3, $2 for the longest time, which was a very feels bad moment when you're opening packs from Fusion Strike and you could have hit like the Celebi or the Mew V alternate art or the Genesect, and you end up with Sandaconda. A bit of a feels bad, but I still think this art's beautiful. I don't think people should be hating on it just because it's like super cheap, right? If you want like some nice art to fill out your binder, a really good pick, I think. You see this one's going for $4.30. It's a pretty good price. Last hold's $5. So yeah, keep an eye out on this one. I don't think it'll do insane growth or anything, but I think for like the price it's at, it doesn't really hurt to pick this up and throw it in your binder just to have like some of the nice art pieces that you want to take a look at. But yeah, that's what I want to say about this one. And the next one's also from Fusion Strike. I think Fusion Strike as a whole, if we exclude the Gengar line, if we exclude the really big cards, which is Gengar, Espeon, and Mew VMAX, those three, I think the set as itself doesn't get as much love. I think this Inteleon is really stellar. I don't know. I like the Dynamax Gigantamax arts where they have the power spots kind of glowing to show like the whole scene. And it's just Inteleon VMAX where it Groot's tail. Because in the games, if you've seen the model for the Gigantamax form, its tail grows super large and it becomes a spiral. And then Inteleon perches at the top and becomes a sniper. The art's just super cool. This is a card I never ended up pulling. I did buy a single of this one, but like with every other VMAX alternate art, the way they did the foiling is really nice. Like the foiling and the texture, it just makes this card stand out super well. You see this one, $24, for the longest time, $18, 15 to 18, and then it spiked a little bit, come down since that point, people selling off, and now it's doing something more healthy, like slower growth, I think. But yeah, $22, okay, that's excluding shipping, right? Let's go back to price plus shipping. For the lowest listings, $24. Pretty good price. I think if you want to collect all the VMAX, the Dynamax alternate arts, that's going to be really expensive, but there are like some here and there if you just want a taste of it and just to get a taste of like each set. It's definitely not a bad idea to pick up these more cheap ones. Pretty underrated, I think. I think any of them, just because of how hard the pull rates are, these in my head should be a little more expensive, but I guess the fact is that when people are chasing other cards, it'll bring down the price of like the less desirable cards. But that just means if you're a collector and you like the art, you can pick it up for a lot cheaper. So it's like good and bad, I guess. Next one's Duraludon VMAX. I think this one, it's pretty slept on. I wouldn't say it's like the best art either, but for like the price point, an Evolving Skies VMAX alternate art, paying like $22, it's like not bad, but it would be a feels bad if this is the alternate art you pull from an Evolving Skies pack, just knowing that this is taking a Dynamax, a VMAX alternate art slot that could have been like any of the EVs or the Rayquaza. It definitely does feel bad. Luckily, that was never a problem for me, I guess, but it's pretty cool. Duraludon is like this gigantic skyscraper, and it's kind of funny. If you like look in the background, it looks like it's like, kind of like a traditional village in the forest, so it kind of stands out very significantly. And then you have the Dynamax power spots there. I don't think anyone's really tried to push, like they've tried to push this card, just like every other VMAX we were seeing. These weird spikes, like I mentioned in a previous video before, it usually means that someone was trying to manipulate the market or do like a big buyout, essentially taking all the supply off and then setting a price they want, and then people FOMO and buy it. But as you can see, it doesn't really work out long term. The prices eventually do crash, usually a little higher than when they started, but not a big deal. But yeah, this, like all the other cards we're looking at with the growth in the hobby, these are like more natural price growth, I think. $23, $23, $24. Not a bad card. If you like Duraludon, and I'm not sure how many fans Duraludon does have, but it's a pretty cool card. It got a new evolution in the newer games with Arceus, and I think that got a little bit of love, and the whole line got a little love in the newer sets. But yeah, if you're a fan of this Pokemon, pick it up. I mean, like $25. It is kind of expensive, but if you put it into comparison of like buying an ETB, this is like cheaper than an ETB, and you're guaranteed to get a nice card out of it. So buying singles is always like a pretty good option if you don't want to risk pulling absolutely nothing. Okay, the next one is Honchkrow V. I think if it was printed now, I could definitely see this on an illustration rare. Probably not like a special illustration rare, but it's still a really nice art piece, I think. Very, very nice looking Honchkrow and then a flock of Murkrow hanging around it. Honchkrow being the big boss, he's just there. But yeah, it's very like soothing. I don't know if there's much more to say about this card. It's a really soothing art piece. It's just chilling. You see the sun in the background. The lighting's really nice. Pretty card. I did pull this one. And I think Brilliant Stars as a whole, the Charizard being so expensive kind of brings down everything else, but I think that's not very fair because the alternate arts in this set go really hard. I have one more from this set, and I think is like my favorite alternate art for just a regular V card, but this is like a close second in terms of this set, at least for me. As you can see, it's gone up a bit, which we've seen with every single chart so far. $10, $11. Yeah, I mean, if you want it, you can get this one for like, what, $5, $12, $13, including shipping. Yeah, if you like the card, pick it up, right? And that's like always going to be my advice. If you like the art, pick it up. Skuntank. Okay, this is a funny one too, because this one was also super cheap for like the longest time. And as you can see, it's actually cheaper, a little, it's like equivalent to where it was before. But it's a pretty nice art piece. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but for like $6, picking up an alternate art, it's not a bad idea. Skuntank is a Gen 4 Pokemon. Gen 4 always has a little bit of a boost to me. This art style here, though, it's very reminiscent of the Blood Moon Ursaluna. Blood Moon Ursaluna. I think it's this one. Nope, I was wrong. Let's just pull it. Okay, yes. So we're here. This one, right, where you see the... in this case, it's Blood Moon Ursaluna breaking into a tree, and then you have the roots and everything. This one equivalently has a very similar feeling, like a little Diglett in the background. But you have like Paris in this forest, and then Skuntank and a couple of Stunky just sleeping in their little tree log. It's very cute. Like I've said with every other piece, the arts that give a slice of life or an image into like how the Pokemon live, those are my favorite type of arts, and I think this kind of captures that feeling really well. As you can see, $6, $7, pretty good price. If you like the art, pick it up. Yeah. We talked about this one before. Okay, this is pretty funny. Greedent V. This is the other alternate art from Fusion Strike, where if you pulled it, you were not as happy as you would be pulling one of the other ones. But I don't think it deserves a hate. I think Greedent's a pretty cute Pokemon. Skwovet especially. The one here looks very sassy. They're all just happy. These two are happy. This guy looks like he's doing all the work. I don't know what everyone else is doing, but it's a pretty funny looking card. It wasn't playable or anything, but it's cool. This card, doing $8.40 for the direct price, but as you can see, price is growing a bit. Nothing like too crazy, just because we're seeing from like a $5 card, right, to a $7 card. It's like, okay, there's growth, but it's not like anything out of the ordinary. Let me zoom back. What's wrong with this? See if this works. Okay, this doesn't want to show the price points. Okay. Well, we don't have to look at the historic price. We can just look at the sales current prices. You see this one's going for $8, $8, $8. It's an $8 card. If you like the art, pick it up. Fusion Strike as a whole, a very good set. I'll do a set breakdown of like all the sets as we keep going along and waiting for like new content. But yeah, this is what I want to point out right now, just because it's pretty cute. It's a fun art. In the games, Greedents and Skwovet, they sit in trees, so it's kind of fitting that the Greedent's sitting on top of a tree while Skwovet are pulling the tree. Okay, and so the next one, Hisuian Lilligant. This is a pretty nice art, I think. It is a bit cluttered. I think there's a lot going on, and it's kind of hard to see just because of the text here. So if this didn't have the text, it would actually be really nice. But this is like in the Hisui region, you see Hisuian Lilligant, Rowlet, Starlies, Pachirisu. This feels really cute. There's like even a swine up here that I actually didn't realize was there for like the longest time. Or this Quillfish, or this Overquill. Like this, like why is this art being hidden by the V text? Well, that's just besides the point. It's a really cool art. Basculegion. But yeah, if you played the Hisui games, if you played Legends Arceus, these are all like Pokemon you're familiar with. And I think as like a Legends Arceus fan, this is a pretty nice card, because I'm trying to remember if other Hisuian Pokemon got alternate arts, and I can't say they did. Like the closest one is Blood Moon Ursaluna, but that's like a different version of it. So I think this is actually one of the few that are from Legends Arceus. So that's actually a fact I didn't realize, but it kind of bumps it up for me even more now. This card's only, what, $15? It's actually pretty cheap. This is broken again for some reason. We can take a look at item price. $14, $15, $15, $15, right? And I think when I picked it up originally when the set first came out, I paid $20. But I'm not worried about that, right? It's like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if it's a card you like. If you want to go for the master set or complete set, you'll need to pick them up, right? And it's always a good time, like I've mentioned previous videos all the time. When new sets are coming out, take a look at older sets, just so you don't have to chase like the new stuff, but can pick up stuff you've always liked or stuff you were missing before. And the last one I want to talk about, I think this one's like very underrated. I think this is the best art from Brilliant Stars. Easily beats out Charizard for me. It just looks so majestic. This Arceus V. There is one other Arceus that we should talk about. It's kind of related. It's the Arceus V promo. Arceus V in Pokemon. Pull this back up. It's this card. This card, okay, this card's also pretty peak. But I think between the two, I do like this one. It just has Arceus as more of a like divine being, which I think it should be. Very like bright, very, I don't know, bright. Yeah, bright I guess is the right word. And you see like the whole cosmos in the background and the land of Sinnoh in the foreground. It just, very good art. I don't know, it's just beautiful. And I actually do have a PSA 9, sorry, not PSA, CGC 9 that I should have thrown some image up in the intro for. But yeah, this card, super underrated in my opinion. I'm surprised this card hasn't like grown more. Like $42 is like really cheap. For the longest time, it wasn't even breaking $30, which at that point I was like, yeah, pick it up. But now as like the price goes up a bit more, think about it. But I think Arceus being like Pokemon, it is such a hyped up Pokemon, so cool in terms of design and everything. I think if any of the cards on my list you're thinking of picking up, I would suggest this one just because it's my favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I pulled this card also from like a random box from a Walmart like 2 years ago, and it was super hyped. But yeah, love this card. Definitely take a look at this card. But yeah, in terms of the alt arts I wanted to talk about for today, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think of this list, and if there's any cards you think I missed that you think are underrated, or if any of these cards you think are like worth picking up now. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to see in the future. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that mumbo jumbo, because it really does end up helping a lot. It gives me motivation to keep posting. Yeah, and hopefully I helped you out, and I'll see you guys next time.